everyone, I'm Jeannine from Adult Services, and I just wanted to share with you some fun family activities that I've been doing with my husband and my 3-year-old while we've been sheltering in place. For her third birthday, she actually got a pair of binoculars as a gift. Her birthday was in January. And then she also got these great books, Take-Along Guides, Bird Nests and Eggs, by Mel Boring, and then Caterpillars, Bugs, and Butterflies. These are obviously geared towards children. They give you a really good, just basic intro into birding. So we've been kind of birding. That is our sort of new fun activity. We always like to go for hikes and walks. That's always been part of something that we do as a family, and this is just a way for us to kind of make those walks a little bit extra special during this time, since we've been taking a lot more walks. We go for a walk at least once a day, sometimes twice a day. We're fortunate enough to live 1 block away from a lagoon and a park where there's lots of nature and lots of birds, so we don't even really have to travel too far. And from what I've read online through the American Birding Association, they really have some new guidelines during this COVID-19 pandemic. They don't want people traveling too far to do birding. They want you to stay close to home and really observe those social distancing rules. So while you may not have a pair of binoculars at home, my 3-year-old is not always super successful at using them. Sometimes she's looking through the wrong direction. So if you don't have binoculars, not necessary. A lot of the birds, sometimes they come down on the ground and you can actually see them pretty close without having to actually look at them up in the tree. So far in our park, we've been able to see red-winged blackbirds, American robins, and we've also saw a great blue heron. That was kind of a unique one. That was one of the fun ones. So the great thing about this book is it'll go through some of the basic bird types. So like here we have American robin, and then it'll just talk about the different types of things. So like what the eggs look like, what their nest looks like, what they eat, about their size and their color. So if you don't have something like these books at home or don't have the ability to maybe purchase them online, I actually found a free app on my phone. It's the Audubon app. You can just create an account, go on, and you can actually keep track of all the birds that you've seen. You can take pictures of them and upload them and share them with other people if you want. But the great thing about the app is you can actually listen to the bird calls. So maybe if you can't get a great eyesight on them and you don't have binoculars, you can really listen. And those are all great skills that you can share with your family. So this is like an all ages activity. It's good for families, it's good for adults, anybody. You know, I've never really appreciated the birds that have been in the park, although I always am kind of listening to them sing. I've never known what kind of birds we've got, and it's been a really fun thing to see my daughter get excited about it. So through the app, you can actually identify a bird. You can put in your location and the time of year, and it'll give you kind of information about the types of birds that'll be around. And you can add a sighting, so you can keep track of all the different birds you've seen, record the date and where you saw them. So hopefully once the shelter in place gets lifted, and maybe if you get really into birding, you could start traveling to different parks to see if you could find other birds that maybe are not as common. I know the American robin's probably one that, you know, everyone in this region is going to see. So it's kind of hard to see, but I highly recommend downloading the Audubon app. Like I said, it's free through App or Play Store. So if you don't know the name, you can actually search the guide, and I'm going to say identify bird. And on here you can identify it by color, by bird type, by activity, habitat, voice. So it's really kind of an easy way to figure out, you know, what type of bird you might be seeing. So, You know, let's say I saw a black bird, so I can go and pick a color, and you can pick multiple colors, and then below it's going to show you the different types of birds that would fall under that category. So for instance, in our park, we see a lot of these red-winged blackbirds. They're beautiful, and I never really noticed them before. But you can see they have that distinct red feathers on the side of their wing, and they make beautiful, loud calls. And I never realized it was them until we started doing the birding. So I marked that I had one sighting. And then it kind of tells you all about the bird, so you can really learn all about it. It tells you the description. You can listen to the songs and calls. And if you keep going down, it'll even tell you, you know, where geographically you can find this type of bird and what time of year. So for us, it's all seasons. This is a very common bird for this area. For most of the United States, it looks like everything that's purple, that's all seasons and very common. It talks about its migration, conservation status, habitat, feeding behavior, diet, nesting, eggs. You get lots of information through the app alone, so it's really a great one. And then, like I said, you can kind of mark your sightings, so it'll load your map, but you can also see other people who have marked seeing that bird. So it's really fun. And then it'll just kind of show you similar birds. So it's a really great little app. And it also has a field guide. So in the field guide, you go back up, go back in to search for the different birds. It's really a wonderful little app. And they even under My Audubon, so they have like their main menu at the bottom of the app here. And under My Audubon, so that would be like all the birds I've seen, my location. So you can put in a few different locations. So I put in our lagoon, and I kind of marked that as one that I can mark since that's where we're taking most of our walks these past weeks. But you can also create a life list. So if there's birds that you're like, I really want to see this bird in person, you can put that one on your life list as like sort of a goal. But if you scroll down a little bit, they do have, let me see here, field guide. Right now they have Audubon for kids. So if you've got kids, this is a great little guide to talk to kids about birds. So, and they have week lessons. My family hasn't started doing this yet. I just kind of found this in the app while I was exploring. So we'll probably start with week 1, and it's get to know birds. And it just talks all about the different adventures and all the different things that you can learn. So it's really kid friendly. Like I said, this is all ages. Kind of our new skill that we've been practicing. We're definitely novices, and we have a lot to learn. I know there's a lot to know about birding. You can go online to find a lot more information. We're just really dipping our toe in the water. It was just a way to make the walks really fun and engaging for my 3-year-old. You know, because it's kind of like we're looking at the birds, but we're also listening. And kind of just watching and seeing what they're doing and how they're interacting with the other birds. It's been a really good way to bond our family during kind of a stressful time. So if you have a park near you, or even if you don't, there are birds everywhere. You could just walk around. And funny enough, when we were out one weekend on our birding adventure, and she had her binoculars and we had our books, this is before I had the app, we saw another couple, and they had their binoculars, and they were birding, and you know, that was really fun. So I really encourage it, and stay safe and have a good weekend.